But what really interested me was, how could you marry your killer? How can the person you love end up being the person who ends your life? And in digging deep, you know, we really expect so much from those we love the most.
Let's talk about a little bit about TV and the fact that we'll see you on Today's Show, but then we'll see you talking true crime, you know, and you're getting into the minds of, you know, some people who are really, you know, dealing with a lot of heavy stuff. You're talking about some serial killers and the things of that nature. What drew you towards wanting to learn more about the mind in that regard?
I was in touch with my inner dangerousness.
Yeah. Let's go.
No, I was always fascinated by murder and crime. I think in part because it was safe. It's safe to look at a murder because I knew I would never kill somebody.
I understand, okay.
Unless, you know, I was in a situation where I had to protect myself. So that's pretty safe to look at. That's not scary. If you're studying something that you know you won't cross that line,
there you go.
You can luxuriate in the extremes, and extremes are fascinating. And also, they're not so different from us.
Yeah, how so? That's one of the things that I wanted to kind of, because one of the things that I have also realized in having a lot of these conversations is that no matter if it's an artist, a designer, a psychotherapist, you know, I mean, there are those common threads, you know, and it's like, so how, you know, how would you say that the mind works in the same type of ways that you've been able to find?
In too many ways, but I'll tell you an interesting story. Are you familiar with the phrase, just do it?
Nike,
okay.
100%.
Well, that was based on a serial killer's last words.
Okay, so that right there, everybody, if y'all can see the behind, everybody's jaws are on the ground. Seriously?
Yeah. He was, I guess, on the electric chair. His time had come, and he's like, just do it.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing about the sociopath is they have no shame.
Yeah.
So something can happen, they'll pick up, and they'll just keep going and going and going. And if we adopt that kind of going and going and going, don't let anything get in the way, don't let cancel culture, don't let shaming, don't let, you know, falling off the wagon, don't let anything get in your way, just focus on the prize and keep going.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. Whew. Yeah, that is really, but that's interesting to learn those things.
Yeah.
To know that to know that it was how can I put this? Just to dig into and to tap into that and to realize that. What was that light bulb that went off on your head that in your brain, that kept you wanting to learn more and you know and to just navigate the mind of some of these, you know, murderers, killers, you know.
Because I think, you know, if we're honest, many of us have had fantasies of like a bad boss, like maybe walking in front of a bus, you know, and liking that idea. Or I had a patient, the husband had a fantasy his wife was kidnapped. It was probably a wish underneath that fantasy for that moment. So the interesting thing about many criminals is they have these thoughts, but they act on it.
Yeah.
And when I was studying for my book, Till Death Do Us Part, and it was not my idea. It was my literary agent who said, what do you think about writing about marital homicide? And I was like thinking, why would I want to write about that?
Yeah.
I'm like a happily ever after.
Very much so.
I'm like self-help, joy to the world. But what really interested me was, how could you marry your killer? How can the person you love end up being the person who ends your life? And in digging deep, you know, we really expect so much from those we love the most that it's almost like they're bound to fail us.
Yeah.
And so the person who acts on that rage and that feeling that their partner is interfering with their life being as it should, they really externalize it, and they think, if I eliminate my partner, then my life will be great. And they don't have the coping skills you have, I have, in minimizing the feeling. Yes. With humor, with I may not want to do that because I'll end up in prison. You know, so it's you know, a dysregulation of course there are mood issues and drug issues and character disorders that all contribute to that, but they're just like us without the proper coping skills in place.
Wow. We are all so similar, more so than I think that we even understand. And to come to that realization is something it's eye-opening. Again, it's jaw-dropping here in the room, and it's just like, wow.